See, I've got two Thars behind me. The striking difference between the two is that this is the Thar rear-wheel drive and this is my personal Thar 4x4, which I bought in 2020. So they're 2 years apart, but they're definitely the Mahindra Thar. And I'm here to answer a lot of key questions that people have been asking us on our channel, as well as posting on different forums on the internet. So the first question I have is, does a rear-wheel drive Thar make any sense at all? Well, if you asked me this question in 2010, my answer would have been no. But in 2023, my answer is a definite yes. And the reason being the 2020 model. When this came out, Mahindra changed the game. They made the Thar a complete lifestyle vehicle that could also go off-roading. Yes, it had that SUV genes, it's a ladder-on-chassis design. All of that makes it this product that's built to handle the rough stuff really well. But along with that, it was also plush. It was also great to be driven around in as long as you're seated in the front passenger seat. And it's also just such a great drive. So they made it premium. They gave it all those bells and whistles. And with that, they also found a lot of urban buyers. So when you look at a lot of customers sitting in cities like Delhi, Bombay, Chennai, Bangalore, who have bought the Thar, you know, for them, this model actually makes even more sense. You're going to look at someone who wants predominantly on-road usage. It will take you on all those adventures that you've been looking forward to. It will take you up to Leh. It will take you, you know, you want to go visit Hampi. I don't know. Your long road trips, it will do it all. And that's why it makes so much sense. So the second big inquiry that we have is, what are the key differences between the Thar rear-wheel drive and the Thar 4x4 version that we've seen over the last 2 years? Well, I have them both right here, and as you can see, they look very similar. So from a visual difference standpoint, it's only three things. You've got the Twin Peak logo on all the hubcaps, on all the wheels. You've got no 4x4 badging on it, and you don't have the engine badging on it either. Inside, you will find a couple of new buttons on the center console, which include a neat door lock-unlock feature, the hill descent control, the traction control button, and you also get the Twin Peak logo on the steering wheel. You also get the ESF, which is your engine start-stop button, which enhances fuel efficiency because it automatically shuts off the engine when you stop at a red light or have a prolonged stop anywhere in city traffic. So those are the key differences that you will find between this version and this version. Right, now obviously the news about the Thar rear-wheel drive diesel engine has been floating around on the internet, and everybody knows it's going to be the 1.5 liter diesel engine. So to give you a little bit more on that, the question that we have with a lot of people asking us is, how powerful is this engine? Well, the D117 CRD turbocharged 4-cylinder engine is actually a marvelous engine because it delivers 117 bhp of power and 300 newton meters of torque. You get 55% of that torque at 1000 RPM. What that translates to is amazing drivability. So you get in here, you'll be hard pressed to tell the difference between the larger 2.2 M-Hawk version and this one. This one obviously being a little lighter, and you know, the weight reduction is there, so you actually don't feel that little difference in power. So to sum it up, it's amazing to drive, it's extremely peppy, you can really rock it up to 3-digit speeds with absolute ease. It's fun cruising around in it, and yeah, it's just a blast, and I think Mahindra has gotten this one absolutely right. Is it fun to drive? That's the next big inquiry we have. Well, let me put it this way. The Thar is built to be a fun vehicle. The Thar is all about fun. So regardless of which variant you go for, you know that fun is in its DNA. With the Thar rear-wheel drive, there's no difference on that front. It is an extremely fun vehicle to drive. We've been having it out on ECR. We took it out on some rough roads, and it just performs effortlessly. So yes, it will deliver that fun element if you're looking for it. So the next question I have is, can the Thar rear-wheel drive off-road? Well, it can rough-road. It's got amazing ground clearance. It's got a auto brake lock differential that helps it deal with the rough stuff as well. And but it doesn't have 4x4, as I've already mentioned. So don't expect it to go rock climbing. Don't expect it to go through slush. Don't expect it to do all of that. But it can handle a lot of rough stuff, and it will be a vehicle that you can take out on any kind of adventure. Up next is the all-important question about mileage. And yes, with the smaller 1.5 liter diesel engine, the Thar rear-wheel drive is definitely more frugal than the 2.2 MHawk version. Now, I haven't had a chance to actually test it to an absolute level, and we're still waiting for AR/AI to give us the test figures on this new vehicle. But from our little drive, from driving around, I can tell you that it is about 15 to 20%, if not more, better than the already frugal 2.2. That is quite a frugal vehicle, and this will obviously be a little higher. So yes, it will deliver on the mileage front. I would not be worried about mileage. Moving on, we've got, who is the buyer for a Thar rear-wheel drive? Like, is it right for me? That's the question that we keep getting. People write in and say, is the Thar rear-wheel drive right for me? Well, if you live in the city, you're looking for an SUV that's a break from the conventional urban SUVs, then the Thar is for you. If you're an outdoorsy kind of person, love going on adventure trips, then the Thar is for you. If you're looking for something that stands out, has this amazing road presence, and it gives you that high SUV feel, then the Thar is definitely for you. What's great about it is that it is very easy to drive. It feels lighter than the 2.2 MHawk version. The steering is lighter, so it's extremely maneuverable in the city, and it tick marks all those elements. So yes, if you're looking for something that's different, something that's very cool, very sophisticated, and a little unconventional, then here's an SUV that's the perfect urban, tough SUV. So we're down to our last question, and it's probably the second most important one, which is why I saved it for the end. Number one, obviously, being the kitna deti hai question. This is about value for money. How expensive is the Thar rear-wheel drive going to be? Well, there is a lot going on for it that will bring down the cost. One being the fact that there's less tech on board. There's no four-wheel drive on board. So that obviously is a cost reduction. But the other element is, with the diesel version, it's actually a 1497cc engine, which is less than the stipulated 1.5 liter category. And the Thar also measures less than 4000 mm, which does not classify it as a full-blown SUV, and therefore it attracts a lower GST rate. With that, the cost comes down even further, and that will all be passed on to the customer. So when it does launch and it does hit the market, you can expect the Thar rear-wheel drive to be a great value for money offering that is very tempting, because it's got all the bells and whistles on board. So there's nothing missing from it, from the audio system, from all the other features in there, you know, cruise control, you name it, it has it. But as a cost perspective, it will be lower than this version. Well, with that, we come to the end of our Q&A, and I hope that this insight helped you understanding the Thar rear-wheel drive just that little bit more. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Motorscribes channel. We love hearing back from you, so do put in your comments below. Cheers.